President Trump is now tweeting a response to the widow of LaDavid Johnson, the American soldier killed earlier this month in Niger. Maisha Johnson did an interview this morning where she said the president could not remember her late husband's name. She said, "I heard him stumbling or trying to remember my husband's name. And what hurt me the most, that's what hurt me the most, because if my husband is out there fighting for our country and he risked his life for our country, why can't you remember his name?" And that's what made me more upset and cry even more, because my husband was an awesome soldier. And the president just tweeted moments ago. He responded. I had a very respectful conversation with the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson and spoke his name from the beginning without hesitation. So he's refuting the family and the widow in real time. So the issue here is her story.
What's he doing, Dominica?
I'm getting there. I'll just say everything that she has described about what he said during that, sorry, I know Donald Trump. I've known him for a long time. I've spent time with him. I know how he talks. That sounds like Donald Trump.
Well, and regardless, if you have a widow coming out and speaking,
bumbling, heartless.
A president actually undercuts a widow like 5 minutes after she tells her story.
I can't believe that they are mistreating the widow of a fallen soldier in this way. It is so unseemly, so distasteful. This is a woman who is in the greatest grief of her life. And the fact that she has to go, I'm sorry, it just...
Yeah, I hear you.
It really is. The president's reaction immediately after she's on TV, upset, the president immediately feels like he's going to hit back at the grieving widow.
As a candidate, he couldn't walk away from attacking the Khan family. Eventually, he was convinced that that was politically a bad idea. This isn't about politics. He's president of the United States. He should just walk away. This is not a fight.
She had to respond because they've turned her husband into a political piñata. She spoke out because she wanted people to remember he was a brave soldier. He was a wonderful husband, not just something that John Kelly and Donald Trump can use for their political expediency.
And remember how this all started. It started with the president lying about former presidents and whether or not they contacted families. It started with the president delivering misinformation to the American people. It went from there to whether or not a congresswoman was correct in speaking out about the ridiculous conversation the president hastily had with the widow in order to cover his tracks for not reaching out to families of fallen soldiers. And that congresswoman, who is a friend of the family, so there was a reason she was in the car. Whether or not she should have gone public with what she heard, we can argue, we can debate, we can even criticize. But she was describing something that sounds a lot like Donald J. Trump. He knew what he was getting into, fumbling around looking for his name after hastily trying to make a phone call because you didn't make the phone call and you lied about former presidents not making phone calls.
Well,
this whole thing is your botched mess,
and of course
which you're making worse by tweeting at a widow.
And now they're rushing out letters to people, Steve, apparently because they haven't done what Donald Trump said that they had done before. And you look at his history. I mean, again, we've talked about last hour about him attacking a POW, a war hero, a man who gave his all, gave his body in service to this country. He attacked the Gold Star family last summer with the Khans. And now he's engaging in a back and forth with the widow of a fallen soldier.
And it's shocking when you consider no other president's ever behaved this way. It's not shocking when you consider this is consistent with Donald Trump really from the moment he got into the campaign. As you said, he was ridiculing the idea of John McCain being a war hero as a candidate for president. The other thing, though, is you talk about the broader history of this. It occurs to me, it is not uncommon in history for the families of fallen soldiers to attack presidents, to criticize their policies, to express differences of opinion with them. I imagine a lot of presidents in history have heard those attacks and thought they were unfair.
Because they bear the responsibility.
None of them have spoken out and attacked.
Think about
family
Cindy
members.
Shaheen, who
Especially-
stood outside the
Right.
Bush compound and obviously was a huge critic of President Bush. And President Bush recognized that as commander-in-chief, he needed to show compassion and not have a big, long-running fight with her.
And he did show compassion towards her, and she had her say continually over and over again. I remember there were soldiers who died under Bill Clinton's watch that were very critical of President Bill Clinton. Again, Bill Clinton did not strike back.
The bottom line is that this is disrespectful to Gold Star families. This is disrespecting a Gold Star family, that they have had to respond to this, that this widow in her time of crushing grief just a few weeks after, still so many unanswered questions, and that Donald Trump and his White House are going out of their way to make this time of suffering for her husband, a soldier who died on the battlefield for America, to make their time worse.
Wait, what about Republicans that have always been so supportive of the military with the yellow ribbons and everything else?
This is absolutely indefensible for any Republican
I'm just saying, I'm
conservative.
glad our party has always said, hey, support the troops, support the troops, support the troops. And they've always been on the forefront talking about supporting the troops and criticizing Democrats that didn't support the troops, criticizing liberals for not sufficiently supporting the troops. What are these Republicans doing now? What are the Republicans in 2017 in your home state of Mississippi doing now? What about Republicans in my home state of Florida, Northwest Florida, Alabama, Georgia, all the places I've lived across the Deep South? Are they going to come to the defense of a Gold Star family? Are they going to remain locked in this personality cult, worshiping Donald Trump, a man that is showing no respect to the fallen?
I don't know. But I mean, we've seen so many examples of how this president has absolutely no character whatsoever. But this is really a flashpoint of just how his respect for the men and women in uniform and what their families go through when they do give the ultimate sacrifice for their country's security.
John Kelly needs to step up today. We'll be right back. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.